I got a couple things I gotta adjust. Just give me a second. Dude. Look at the deadness. I mean, it was a little better with March Madness, but it's freaking dead. Vegas. Alright, I might disconnect for a second. Or maybe not. We'll have to play this by ear. But they're getting my coffee together. What is this, 25 people? That's funny. Let me find a garbage pail to sit you on while I do my final adjustulations. Skanky ass garbage pail. Alright, there we go. Take in the crowds of Vegas. Alright, let me pull up chat. We're going to talk about something. I have a dividend calculator. So you know what we're going to talk about today? Maybe, baby. Oh, wait. That's my theme song in the morning. You don't want to hear that. Well, maybe you do. Maybe you do. That's like, what's that? Matt Best, before it became public, that Black Rifle Coffee supports anti-2A stuff, supposedly. Cannot confirm, just what I heard. Just what the whole internet heard. Alright, I think we're set. We are going inside because it's AMA time. Alright. I think I'm set. I think I'm set. Hopefully my first coffee's set. Yeah, and I started a little early today because I got some stuff to do after. It's more paperwork-wise. I got a ton of paperwork to do. Super chat activities. Who done did that? I do appreciate it. I think I have to charge this gimbal. This gimbal's getting a little tired. A little bit long in the tooth. I ain't touching those skanky frickin' door handles. So let's do this. Fuck! Give it the knee. Oh. There the gimbal goes. The gimbal just died. It done went and died. Alright. We'll make it through. Coffee. Friggin' awesome. Don't tell me I have to hold this like I'm doing selfies. That would blow chunks. I do. What up? I do have a portable battery. Hold on. Let me fire up my FAA approved battery activities. 20,000 milliamps. It's approved. Well, it's 19,999. That's how you get around it. Well, I wouldn't say get around it. That's what just falls in the norm. Alright, let me get this charger set up so I can keep some juice in the gimbals. Alright. Press buttons. No, don't do that, bro. Come on, charge. Yeah, I think this gimbal's kind of had it in the grand scheme of things. Shoot. Not a happy camper. Oh wait, it's coming to life. There we go. Holy cow. Alright, I gotta go set up my my stuffs. So just chill for a second. Nice. set here. Okay. Might as well turn this sucker around at this point. What up? Yeah, I miss this place too. But I'm gonna get some work done today after we do all this. Alright, I believe we have charging enabled, everything's good. Everything's good. Now we have coffee enabled. Tell I'm excited, right? Whoa, coffee. Alright. I gotta do this the right way. Alright. What? These aren't branded? They don't say true. They don't say True Bar anymore. That's kind of weird. I guess they save a couple bucks not having them custom printed. But these are nowhere near as good as the, remember the gray ones? The gray ones were absorbent. Yes, I did used to like take a couple home because they were the best for cleaning mirrors with some white vinegar. Alright, let's get some coffee activities going here. Alright, here we go. So I hope everyone's having a great day. Again, it's an AMA day. AMA, ask me anything. Within reason. I don't answer like personal relationship questions. I'm not going to give you my social security number. Did it just die again? Oh, I think it just died. Oh, this is going to blow chunks. If I gotta mess with this entire live stream. Come on. Try. At least try. Do your best. Battery. Yeah, I think it might be time for another gimbal, unfortunately. But it is what it is. You know what? If you want to be just patient a second, I can swap out the battery. Don't go anywhere, alright? Because there's things I could do. I think. Alright, hold on. Let me double check. Oh. I think it came to life. Alright, hold on. Alright, it is going to disconnect for a second, but I will be right back. I promise. This is a fun... Please continue to hold. Your call is important to us. That was a good one. Alright, I think it's actually charging now. I hope. If not, I'll figure out something to prop the damn thing up on. Nothing's going to hold me back. Let me get into the chat. What are we talking about? AMA. Ask me anything. I'm not going to give you my date of birth, my social security number, my credit card number, the 3-digit code on the back, my home address, what else? You can ask me just about anything. I don't care. But I do want to talk about some financial things because someone raised a question today. They're like, hey, Bror Fredrik, are you still bullish on Bitcoin? I do want to answer that. Did I dye my beard? No, actually I didn't. It's like, yeah, it does look kind of dark. It looks kind of cool. How's my hair look? Yeah, it's weird. And I look pale AF. It is what it is. I didn't adjust the EVs. We'll adjust the EVs later. Alright, let me get in here and look. I dyed my beard a couple times a while ago, but I didn't really dig it. If you look close, there's enough gray in there for me to be sophisticated looking. Alright, I am not getting chat whatsoever. Let's try this again. Bam, there we go. Top messages. Finally. Technical difficulties today. What the actual F? It's AI hacking shit left and right. AI is kind of crafty. Alright, fan funding. Thank you, Chris K. Most appreciated for the 20 kicking off parking coverage activities. So, yeah, AMA. So go ahead and ask me anything. Like I said, I can talk about past relationships, my opinion on relationships, but I don't talk about anything current because, you know, this is not cool. Tom, what's up, bro? I'm going to be giving you a call this weekend, and should I mention his name? No, I'm not. You know who I'm going to talk about. Let's talk with him, too. You were right. Like, a couple of months ago, you were like, hey, Bror Fredrik, what do you think of Intel? And that was when Intel was at, like, $19, $21, and I wasn't seeing any legs to Intel whatsoever. I just didn't see it. You were right. I'm no financial expert. I know some shit, but yeah, it's at $61 right now, so it was a 300x. Score. All right, let me get some coffee in me. And I'm gonna invite everyone to like, share, subscribe, hit that bell button to get notified when I do this again, which is gonna be twice a month. I made up my mind. And I'm open to super chats, there's links in the description, all the other cool stuff. I'm adding value to my your life, to my life. Yeah, I add value to my own life. I'm adding value to your life, and it'd be appreciated. It goes a cup of coffee. I mean, I sit here and drink freaking 8 cups of coffee. No, I'll drink 4. And parking, which here at Caesars, it's freaking $35, which is stupid, you know? There was a Bruno Mars parade in town today. I wouldn't know Bruno Mars if I tripped over him. Like, they put that flower arrangement that was supposed to look like Bruno Mars in the conservatory. I'm just like, why? Alright, cool. Okay, we can't say Troy. Shout out Troy if you're out there. But I got something arranged for you, Troy. We'll get on that this week. It's been kind of a hectic week. We're getting ready for 2 upcoming conventions, so yeah, it's weird. Yeah, they named a street after him. It's like, why? You know, supposedly the myth is, I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know. Yeah, what does he need a parade for? I don't get it. But supposedly he does owe the town $64 million. You know, some people say he's like an indentured servant to MGM, but I don't know, it's playing Baccarat or something. You can't beat Baccarat. Only a fool would think you can. Alright, coffee. Let me get some coffee in me. I'm making a freaking mess over here, but I'm jazzed up. People still say that, jazzed up. I'm jazzed the F up. Yeah, I'm not liking those EVs. But at least my eyes look blue. By the time I got all this finagling done, coffee's kind of warm, but it's still good. Alright, so, AMA. I'm going to kick it off with something. Let me kick off the hellos first. Chris K, Stephen J. Oh, you watched the Splashdown. I freaking missed it. I mean, what happened to VHSs? I mean, yeah, I could probably find it somewhere, but I used to record cool shit like that. Yeah, the split. Some people say that wasn't even real. It was supposed to distract us from some other shit going on. I don't know, but I did see a video. But now you can't trust your own eyes. I saw a video that was supposedly looking down on the earth and yada yada, and a bird flew by. Just like, I don't know. You can't believe anything you see. BK8648. Jan, how are you? Mary Leathers, Supra, Sony, Mark, what's happening? Yeah, looking for volunteers. Jim Wolf, Matt's87, Val Marie, Kevin Hawthorne. We're gonna get the hellos out the way. Angie in the house. Cindy, how are you? I'm getting hit with these. Another one. Do you guys get those too? The half-ass, like me at the top, commercial at the bottom things. I'm not gonna skip it. I need the 2 cents. Let's see, who else is here? What up, Leaf Farmer, Foreigner, excuse me. Daz Wills. What's my thoughts? Yeah. Tourism is in the shitter, but they'll tell you that profit is up. That's only because they've been tightening the machines tighter than a snake's ass. I mean, that's how that's what the town does. They're like, oh, tourism is down, but we got to keep our numbers up. So instead of $16 bottles of water, let's go to 17. They'll pay 16, they'll pay 17. If they'll put $100 in the stupid machine and it lasts 30 seconds, make it last 20 seconds. This town gives 0 Fs whatsoever. And people are falling for it. I don't know why, but until people start not putting their asses in town, not that I'm rooting for it. See, I'm immune because I don't work here, but I feel bad for the 250,000 people who are dependent on this place. But at the same time, they boiled the frog, and they just threw another one. Every time they boil the frog, they throw another one in the pot. The Math Tutor USA. You get the split screen commercials, Dave? That's crazy. Yeah, I thought it was kind of, yeah, it did look like a memorial. You are correct about that. All right, let's see if I can get, let me like my own video. Likes are cool. Likes are kind of cool. All right, so I am going to get into something, because someone did ask, they're like, I spoke to someone this morning, they're still bullish on Bitcoin, and what's your portfolio stuff? So get your questions in check. And Stephen H., what's going on? Let's have a quick, hey Joe, what's going on? Let's have a quick what on the Bitcoin activity. Am I still bullish on it? Yes. Because this is a question, so I am answering it. Am I still bullish on it? Yes, I am. Am I as bullish as I used to be? No. I'll be honest, I'm not as bullish. I'm still bullish, but I'm not as bullish. You ask why. Now, it bounced off of 64K. Now it's hovering around 73, so everyone's like, yay. There's a problem. We let the frickin' foxes in the hen house, with the whole Bitcoin. Not we, but the minute it became commoditized, it changed everything. It changed everything. The minute ETFs and all that other shit came out, it changed everything. Why, Bror Fredrik? All right. Who knows? I'll wait 30 seconds. Who knows what rehypothecation is? Let's test your financial smarts. What is rehypothecation? Let me know in the comments. While I sip on this freaking good coffee. I'm gonna need like 5 today. No, I'm gonna try for 3. Maybe 4. I don't like even numbers, so it's either 3 or 5. Rehypothecation. You can look it up if you want. Alright, I'll explain it to you in a nutshell. Okay, rehypothecation is what they do, what the banking system does with fiat currency, dollar bills. Dollar bills is the worst. Our financial system is going to collapse at some point. Maybe in the near future, maybe not in the near future, who knows? But it is going to collapse. Dollar bills is unsustainable because when the government can just print them and then inject them into the economy, what does that do? It devalues what you have. Okay, this is what rehypothecation is. Rehypothecation is you go to the bank, you deposit $1,000. Now what happens with that $1,000? You think that it's sitting there, that someone puts a rubber band around it and a post-it note, and it says, Bror Fredrik's $1,000. No. What they do with it is, this is legal. And the Federal Reserve is not federal, nor is it a reserve. It's a private company who's just fucking us all over. Okay. Rehypothecation is this. I love doing these type of things when I used to do, I used to do from the studio and whatnot. So bear with me. I'm going somewhere with this. I'm going to show you some shit. Okay, they take my $1,000 and they're able to loan 900 of it. They give it away. Either, someone's credit card, let someone buy a house, purchase a REIT, whatever it happens to be. Okay, so my money's gone, technically. My money's gone at that point. They say they put aside 10% of it, and they're allowed to loan out 90%. So if you have 100,000, they have 10,000 put aside. It's not yours. it doesn't belong to you anymore. You entrusted it to the bank. So they take $10,000, put it aside in a reserve, and then they loan out the $90,000. That is part of their game. So then they get interest on it from someone else. So they loan it, let's say credit card. I mean, not direct, but they'll use it for credit cards. So now, my money's gone. So they loan out $90,000. Someone buys a car. With the $90,000, they get a car loan. It's back. They use my money to do it. Marie Bella, how are you? Okay. So what happens when the car payments come in? So this dude on his $90,000 car, which you should never buy a $90,000 fucking dollar car, unless it's like an Escalade. Then you're all right. Okay. So the payment comes in. So this guy pays for a month, and it's $3,000, $4,000. Guess what they do? They rehypothecate it. So they take 10% of that, $300, put it aside, and they loan out the other 90% over and over and over and over till there's like nothing left. There's nothing left of your money. That's why when you hear when the economy is bad, oh my God, there's a bank run. What is a bank run? If everyone showed up at a bank to get their money out, it's not there anymore. Your money's gone. Your money's long ass gone. And now they're even doing shit like, oh, tell us what you're using this money for. That's why they file all these fucking reports and everything. Oh, Bror Fredrik, withdrew all the shit. It's not yours anymore. You entrusted it to the banking system. It does not belong to you anymore. You have an IOU, technically. Oh yeah, we owe you something. And they rehypothecate the living shit out of that money. And just, they make money off your money, and then the payments coming back in that you'd think would make, your 100,000 or your 1,000 whole, they're rehypothecating it. It's fake. The whole system is a scam. The entire fiat currency and the banking system is an absolute freaking scam. In case you didn't know, your money's gone. So if there was ever a banking run, that's why banks shut down. That's why governments, you hear about, oh, it only happens in third world countries. No, it'll happen here, trust me. Eventually. I mean, do not keep your money in a bank, and do not keep, but it's FDIC insured. You're gonna trust the same foxes that just ate all your chickens that are gonna pay you back? Oh yeah, you know what? That might take 5 or 6 years. We'll find you under that bridge you're living under. Now you can get insurance. See, that's a business thing. You can get insurance on your money and get paid off quicker. But eventually the banking system is going to collapse. So sticking your money in credit unions are better when it comes to loaning, but they rehypothecate the shit out of your money too. They don't hold it. The bank, if a bank, you see in Heat and all these freaking gangster movies, let's knock over a bank. You know what they're going to find in there? Used condoms and freaking dust and mice shit. They don't have money in the vault. There's no money in freaking Fort Knox either. There's no gold there. It's a whole bullshit. Anyway, so that's what rehypothecation is. So they print money. They create money out of thin air that has no value. That's why after everyone got their stimmy checks during COVID, inflation took off. Because they injected billions and billions and billions of dollars into the economy, devaluing it. Duh, it has nothing to do with who's in office. It has nothing to do with any of that shit. And then on top of that, they rehypothecate that money. It's nothing. It's air. It's a melting frickin' ice cube. Dollar bills are an IOU. Okay, so back to Bitcoin. The hatch just opened, cool. Why am I not as bullish? Because now Bitcoin has a limited supply of 21 million coins, and that's supposed to be the true value of it. There's only 1 million left to mine. The last Bitcoin, with all the halvings, is going to be mined like 150 years from now. You know? So yeah, it's scarce. It's a scarce, finite asset. However the fuck, now that the banks, now that BlackRock, now that all the, now that there's ETFs and there's derivatives of Bitcoin, guess what? It's rehypothecated. So yeah, I can do another. Cool. Yeah, man. I'm gonna suck this one down. They rehypothecated it. So the 21 million doesn't mean the same. NASA, if I say something bad about NASA, I'll probably disappear. And it won't be aliens. You don't F with NASA. But that'll read between the lines. Okay. So, now they rehypothecated, they can create Bitcoin out of thin air with ETFs. Okay, you buy into an ETF on, we'll talk about XRP. You can buy an ETF and be Bitcoin adjacent. That's like watching someone bang your wife. I mean, in all honesty, it's not Bitcoin. You're just like cucking Bitcoin. So no, but people do it. Oh, it's safer because it's backed by an institution. No. But it's rehypothecated. What is to prevent them, BlackRock or any other ETF fund, from just manufacturing Bitcoin out of... It's not a blockchain thing. Yes, they're holding Bitcoin, but they're selling the same frickin' Bitcoin or Satoshis to frickin' 10 people. So they've artificially created more Bitcoin via rehypothecation. That's why the price dumped. One, because people have realized that. Two, nobody plans on spending any of it till it probably hits about 1 million, which it will. It will hit 1 million, maybe 3-5 years from now. This is a cycle. If you look at a chart, so we're almost exactly 50% down. This isn't the first time. This is like the 4th time Bitcoin's dumped 50%. And then it made back to 50% and gained 150% and came back down. So I'm not worried about it per se. If I had 100,000, would I buy a Bitcoin and a half right now? No, I'd slowly drip the money into it, dollar cost average, because we don't know where the bottom is yet. Is it 65? Like I can read a chart. The bottom support seems to be 65. If it breaks 65 to the downside, it can go down into the 40s. Is that bad? I mean, I don't have 1 million Bitcoin, so it's not going to kill me, but I want to buy it at 40. If it keeps going down, I want to buy it. So why would I put a lump sum in? So yeah, the fact that they commoditized Bitcoin is bad. And Bitcoin should be right now. Okay, when it went up to 125, that's because President-elect was like, I'm going to make it the Bitcoin capital of the world. I mean, I agree with some of his things, but I disagree with the other shit. He didn't do shit about Bitcoin. I'm going to make it the Bitcoin capital of the world, yada, 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 all the bullshit. No, that never happened. So that was the irrational exuberance that shot it up to 125, that we had a... Bro Caleb, I'll call you back later. Let's see. Yeah, that was artificially inflated because it was like, oh my God, like what was it? Oh, on day one, I'm signing the Bitcoin Treasury Act or whatever. What is it, day like 300? 400? Not happening. So yeah, it should be right now probably around 80. 80 or 90, like that. That whole spike up to 125. I didn't buy past 100. You know, I make small purchases here and there. I didn't buy past 100 because I saw that shit coming a mile away. So yeah. So if I had like a lump sum, I wouldn't stick it in there because I'd want a dollar cost average. Now it could go the other way, but you're still buying in chunks as it goes up or whatever. But you know, we'll weather. Imagine when you bought at 5,000 and it went down to 1,500, and then it was at 55, and then it went down to 16,000. People held through that shit, you know. And look at them now. The people who bought at 16,000, you know, we're at 75, 72, 73 right now. And it's gonna go to back to 150, 200, this and that. But the rehypothecation thing concerns me a bit. It concerns me. And the people running Bitcoin concern me a lot. They're a bunch of assholes. The people who are currently in charge of Bitcoin are assholes. Like, big time assholes. They don't understand a lot of shit. And they've drifted away from some of the original concepts too, and it's becoming apparent. Like, I don't even want to get into it. But the people who, like, keep the code, the keepers of the code, they're kind of assholes. But not as bad as XRP. XRP, yes, great. I held XRP well up into the almost $4 and sold. I still have a little bit left, but, you know, oh, it can replace the SWIFT banking system. Like, if you're in business, you know what a SWIFT code is, right? It's like, you know, ACH, wire, yada, yada. Okay, it can replace the SWIFT banking system. Oh, it's gonna take 3 days for your money. Eat a bag. It doesn't take 3 days, but SWIFT is slow. The SWIFT system of reconciling books, electronic transfers, was invented in the 70s. I mean, Batman was still on TV with zap, boom, bang. Yeah, but we still use it. Duh. Could XRP replace it? Yes. Can Ethereum replace it? Yes. Can Solana replace it? Yes. However, when it comes to XRP, 90% of all XRP is held by the people who created it. Like the Hawk 2 girl when she did her rug pull, they could do just a massive rug pull. If it goes up to 100 and you bought it at what? It's $1.35 right now. You bought 1,000, you bought 2,000, 10,000, and it went to 100. You'd be like, oh my God, it's going to the moon. And then all of a sudden they decide that they're gonna dump 50% of their 90% shares. That shit's going to frickin' 0.05 cents overnight. Like, and you can put in all the frickin' orders you want. You're never getting out. Okay, you bought in at 135, but you thought you were a billionaire for a second there. It's set up to be the biggest rug pull known to man. So you gotta be careful with that.
What's up, YouTube?
Yeah, man. My man. Thank you very much, my friend.
Are you on YouTube or Twitch?
YouTube.
Okay.
Figured I'd catch up with all the people. How'd it go with, did you pick up the bumper? The runner? Score?
Dude, super fucking score.
Gotta check this out. Oh, sick. That actually looks cool. Like that.
Headlights.
Nice.
Came with the front lid. They put it all
Came
on
with the fog lights too?
Yeah. Came with the fog lights. This is what it would look like with ChatGPT said if it was painted all one color. The same color as the front bumper.
Score. I like it when the plan works out. Homeboy went to California to pick up a bumper. Like locally, it was like, you know, it was, I'm not gonna tell this guy's car, but yeah, locally it was like $2K. He picked it up for like $300, rented a truck. Anyway, so yeah, that's where I stand on XRP. I'm not saying stay, you know, there's some value to it per se, but it's the perfect setup to just screw people over. I mean, people are gonna get screwed over. Could that happen with Bitcoin? Not really. Not really. Bitcoin, you know, as much as I complain about the keepers of the code, they don't own it. Now, if someone dumped, like, you know, there's millions and millions of Bitcoin gone. People who mined it and lost the passcode to that computer and shit like that because when it was at 30 cents, millions and millions of Bitcoin are out of circulation. Will never come back into circulation. You know, if, like they say, ooh, a whale wallet from, you know, 2012 woke up and they just sold 6,000 Bitcoin. Cool. It barely moves the price, you know. I mean, this whole thing with, you know, what we're doing in those other countries move the price a little bit, but in the grand scheme of things, Bitcoin will be resilient, but it is going to go through its ups and downs. So, I'm going to check chat for questions, but I want to show you something. I want to show you, because I'm on this financial thing, I want to show you how bad you're getting screwed. If you don't mind, by Social Security. You think Social Security, you're getting so screwed, blued, and tattooed, it's unfucking believable. And I got a calculator to prove it. Because I'm also going to talk about, we'll circle back to it, one of my favorite ETFs, two of my favorite ETFs. And you know what those are. If you're not putting your money to work, you're fucked. That's all I gotta say. You're never gonna get rich on a salary, or even comfortable, or even beat inflation and all the money printing with a salary and sticking some under your mattress. If you don't put them dollar bills to work, and I'll tell you what, dollar bills are the best employee. You know, put them bitches to work. And if you're not, that's why they make soup kitchens. Alright. Remember, not sweet enough. Remember back in the day, some of you Xers will remember, I remember like in the Ross Perot age when I was like, you know, cutting my teeth on life, they were talking about self-directed retirement accounts where you didn't have to put it into Social Security, you could self-direct like one massive 401k. You know what the 401k is? As much as I'm an advocate if you're getting a match of a 401k, biggest scam ever perpetrated on the American people. You know why? Because that alleviated the burden of corporations to start up pension funds. That's a whole nother topic. The whole premise of the 401k was a fucking scam from the get-go. And corporations loved it. They were just like, sick, we'll do a little match. Alright, so Social Security, yeah, it wasn't going to go away because they dip into it, you know? They use it. So the idea of letting people self-direct it, oh, well, the average American is just too stupid to know what they do with their money. So you pay into this fucking thing your entire life and you get $2,000 a month. You know, like what 10 years, what $2,000 a month is, and within the next couple of years, they're going to cut the payments by like 25 to 30% anyway, because they're already out of money. What is $2,000 a month now is shit. Imagine $2,000 a month 5-10 years from now. That'll be your electric bill. So if you're thinking about Social Security, we'll go there. I'm going to show you something. And I'm going to show you a way to beat it. Anyhow. Alright, let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on. I expect Social Security to be there. Yeah. Yeah, that's all it is, Stephen Lowe. You're dead on. It's inflation, is it? You know what? Inflation is, it's, oh, but that's greedy corporations raising their prices. No, it isn't. That's a tax. That's a tax the government created, inflation, because they're the ones causing it. They print the money, which causes inflation. When there's more money in circulation, just like counterfeit bills, you know, the more money is in circulation that they can print out of thin air. They print $9 billion, the government prints $9 billion a month. And they're going to ramp up to $40 billion a month. Why, Bror Fredrik? Because they can loan it with T-bills and shit like that. You have, unless you pay attention to stuff, you have no idea how badly we're being fucked. But anyway, so they're injecting this phony-ass money into the economy, which raises prices. That's nothing to do with greedy corporations or whatever, or who's in office. It's just like, jeez. Collection agency. Let's see. Yeah, I'd be worried too. Yeah, when BR gets involved. Did I say their name out loud? Uh-oh. I better look over my shoulder when I get home. I was on the phone. It said last tornado warning. This tornado warnings? BTC is dead? No, it's not. Far from dead. BTC is not dead. And blockchain is outdated? Blockchain is... I generally agree with you on stuff, but blockchain is probably one of the best technologies ever created for truth and auditing. You can't fool the blockchain. It's just, when you have people effing with it. Let's see what else. Alright, why isn't my chat is not moving? Let me fire it up again. Bonk. Double bonk. Let me check fan fundalization. No. Let's check all messages. Yay. Okay. Yeah, do what Mary said. Smash the absolute heck out of that like button. Jacob's watching me. What's going on, bro? Jessica. Kevin H. Trying to Venus. How are you? Good to see you. Alright. 812 painting, what's going on? Yeah, that would be a splash. When they dump XRP, and the people behind XRP, Ripple, they donate to some interesting causes. You gotta check into this stuff. Alright, being that there's no questions coming in, I'm going down, I'm gonna keep going down this road. The next PLTR type investment. I don't know. I've been looking and looking and looking, and everyone's like, oh, AI this, AI that. I deal with it all day long, business-wise. It's the new buzzword. You go to a convention, everything's AI, your mother's AI. There's no such thing as AI. Let's just be real about that. Venus and Jim, thank you very much for that 10 Bananagramas. No such thing as AI. There isn't. It's LLMs. Large language models. It's basically just accumulation of everything that's on the internet. That's all it is. It's just Google on steroids and is capable of doing some other shit. Cool. But until it becomes sentient, it's not artificial intelligence. It's just not. But it's a cool buzzword. And but now it's learned how to hack shit. Because I got to keep on top of these things. I got to direct operations at the company. My guard is up. I mean, they found that household routers now. Your Netgear, your T-Link, all the cheap Chinese shit. Not Netgear per se, but some of them. They've got hidden back doors to get into your shit, whatever. It's bad out there. I mean, what the guys at work do with AI, Claude Code, what I do with Copilot and whatever, it's just freaking amazing. I have a whole staff, basically. I have assistants, I have researchers, I have, interns, the staff. Thanks to AI. However, what we can do with that is amazing. You don't think bad actors are already figuring out how to hack shit? Yeah, if you're a member of Chris K, if you're a member of, there's actually an email in the description there. That's a good place to start. It might take me a little bit to find it because it just gets absolutely bombarded, but I'll find it. Yeah, I mean, AI is, it's useful. Learning how to get the most out of it is the best because most Most of this AI bullshit is a bunch of ass kissing. Its prime directive is to assist you and be helpful. So it blows so much smoke up your ass you can't even trust it. And the best AI models, and I'll keep using the word AI, are only like 89% accurate. So like 9% of everything that is generated by AI is wrong. But there's ways around it. There's ways you can trick it. Like if you ever want to get a truthful answer out of AI, ChatGPT, Copilot, whatever the hell you use, like if you had a question, is this a good time to sell my house? Whatever. Whatever. Just ask it a question. People are making friends with it. Sarah Khan is freaking out. Whatever. If you ask the question, it'll dumb it down and it'll try to validate your hypothesis and tell you you're so smart and give you that dopamine hit. No, this is what you do. If you want the truth out of AI, you say, I have a friend who thinks I should sell my house now. Do you think I should? Give me the pros and cons if I sold my house right now. Suddenly, now it's not concerned about protecting your feelings. It's not worried about the dopamine hit. It's not worried about the validation that you're seeking to be right. I know people are so addicted to it being right. Like they verify everything with AI, with ChatGPT and Copilot and Claude. But you're training it to be a yes man. Who the fuck wants to be surrounded by yes men? Everything that they're concerned about, they're running through AI to see if it's right. But, okay, just from the basis that 11% of all AI is bullshit, they call it hallucinations, I call it bullshit, that's one. Two, it's trained to validate you and make you feel good. How can you trust that shit? I don't want a yes man around me, so you have to trick it. I have a friend, I have a coworker who thinks, and it bypasses the prime directive. Yeah. There you go, pro tip, right there. That's worth $1 million. And prompting is kind of big. My AIs are named Trixie, and they know my name. So like when I fire up, my AIs, they're like, good morning, Bror. How was your evening? I'm just like, excuse me? Sleep well? Like, what? Okay. Let me do some stuff here. I'm gonna keep going out. You want to see how bad you're getting screwed on Social Security? Want to go there? I'm ready to go there. Let me like Venus and Jim's Super Chat activities. So I don't see any questions coming in. The coffee tonight, the coffee is pretty good. This one is hot. I don't know why the first one is never hot. Maybe I don't sit my ass down quick enough. Or maybe the cups are cold. This one's good. It does need a little more sugar activity though. Yes, I'm treating myself to some sugar. I'm basically off sugar. I'm basically off carbs. I'm like 98% still on the carnivore thing. Once in a while I need a little carbs. But I rarely go over 100 carbs in a day. Rarely. That's what's fucking you up, carbs. If you look down and you can't see your junk, take a step back from the carbs. That's all I gotta say on that. Alright, that should be good. The housing market is trending down. Yeah, but the problem is now the housing market is going to trend down because corporations, BR, are going to be blocked from snatching up homes. So what the hell do you think? You really want to bug out and make yourself nervous about the economy? Research consumer credit. I promise you, you won't sleep as well as you normally do. Not consumer credit like you and I spending. Yep, eliminating them carbs. Okay, wow, this thing's like, this coffee cup's like suction cup to the plate. Like suction cup to a mirror. How you doing? You've been staring at me this whole time. Take a picture. Okay, what the hell were we talking about? We were talking about the housing market. Yeah, so now that these corporations cannot buy, they were selling another derivative, which got us in trouble in 2008, called consumer credit. People were investing and then buying homes, and then like a REIT. REITs are kind of cool, but not in this day and time. Anyhow, how you doing? Good. How you doing? No? Okay. I got you. You just clued me in on something. You guys didn't hear that. Alright, inter-office politics. The housing market. So, now all these corporations who've been buying up houses left and right, they say 30% to 40% of all the houses in Las Vegas are owned by a corporation. Well, so now they're going to dump them. If they can't make money off them, they have to dump them. And the Airbnb market is in the frickin' toilet, so they're going to start selling. So it's going to be a buyer's market. So not a good time to sell your house. Well, with the interest rate, yada yada. But like all things, there'll be a recovery. But right now, not a good idea. But you do you. I'm just some guy on the internet drinking coffee. Okay, is going off the grid, Jim, a good way to go? I mean, in one way, I would like to. I was thinking about like what the president said he's going to send, you know, that country back to the Stone Ages by just taking out their power plants, and I thought about that for a second. I'm like, actually, yeah, that would be like if the U.S. power grid went down, we would be in the Stone Ages. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, he did say that. We would be in the Stone Ages. What would we do? We couldn't bank. We couldn't chat GPT. Like, we'd be back in the Stone Ages, and it would take years to build. So self-sufficiency, yeah. Solar panels suck ass. They always will. They'll never, I mean, maybe in the future they'll figure it out. Return on investment takes years and years and years and years. Okay. And I love the concept. Wind turbines, kind of cool. I wanted to sneak one. I wanted to put one on my car. You know, like, why don't they have electric cars with, like, nasty, gnarly hood scoops, like a Harrier jump jet or an F-15, with, like, scoops, with turbines that power the electric vehicle? Am I the only one who thinks that's a genius idea? Because as you're driving, them wind turbines are spinning, charging the battery. Like, why has no one done this? If anyone wants to go into business doing that, I'll do it. It just makes so much sense, and it would look nasty cool. You got these two big hood scoops, like the Batmobile, with like wind turbines charging the battery, and another two on the side. You'd probably be sucking some birds in there or whatever. Yeah, like the old Ram Air system. Why isn't someone doing that? Like, if I had an electric car, I'd have one. I'd be holding it out the window and sticking it in my frickin' lighter. And, you know, in the lighter socket, charging my shit. Duh. Because you're moving forward, so wind is inevitable. What? Why? And someone's had to have tried that. I don't know. Nuclear is the proper power. Until they release, because I believe cold fusion has already been, it's already a done deal. There is cold fusion, which is free electric for everyone. It's not efficient enough, but it's something. It's better than nothing. It's better than sitting at a freaking Tesla charger watching freaking YouTube for half hour so you can go another 259 miles. It's better than nothing. You know, at least it would augment. Maybe not replace charging, but it would augment. And it would look cool as fuck. So let's see. Yeah, nuclear, until they release cold fusion, which they never will. Once the world has free power, the power dynamic shifts. Okay, hey, guess what, world? Free power for everyone. Because that's what cold fusion is. Free power for everyone. Oh my goodness. You think they want to release that? They want to release that about as much as they want to release the cure for cancer, which probably exists. Or to at least stop telling you what's causing cancer, like the shitty food that people eat. If you're not cooking it at home from scratch, it's fucking killing you. I don't care what anyone says. Oh, eat out, it's so convenient. Oh, is sitting in a doctor's office in your golden years convenient? I try never to eat out. Never. The only time I eat out is for company, to socialize and shit. And even then, it kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies. However, if you ain't cooking it, it ain't good for you. I mean, let's just be real. If you bought it in a store, but getting back to nuclear power, yeah, nuclear power is the shit. But nobody wants one in their backyard. Think of Chernobyl. Think of 3 Mile Island. What, is Homer Simpson still running the shit? Come on. That's basically free power. If you don't know what nuclear energy is, they take the uranium rods, they put water around it. The uranium rods are like freaking knocking boots, like rabbits. It boils the water creates steam, and the steam turns the turbines. That's what nuclear power is. It's not like nuclear shit going on and going through wires to your frickin' outlet. They use it to create steam, which powers turbines. That's how it works. Am I the only one who like knows that or things? Do I know too much shit? Is that why I don't sleep well at night? I sleep good, but I wake up at like 3, 4 in the morning thinking about shit. The more you know. Anyway, so yeah, we need nuclear power like that. But I don't want one in my backyard. Okay. All right. Anyway, let me catch up on chat. Yeah, it would still require labor for sure, but I mean, unless we could still use our infrastructure. Yeah, the infrastructure has to be maintained and everything, but we wouldn't be burning coal. I'm not going to call it fossil fuel because that's bullshit. Oil is not a finite resource. Oil replenishes itself. That's another myth. They call it fossil fuel, so you think it's dead dinosaurs. Get the fuck. I mean, how stupid do you have to be to think oil comes from a dead Tyrannosaurus? That's like so low IQ, but that's what people are brainwashed to think because it's fossil fuel. No, you drill a hole, you drill a oil well dry, you wait 10 years, it fills back up again. It's a natural processes within the earth. Proven. Am I the only one who knows that? I hope not. But they still have to burn coal. They have to, a hydroelectric dam like we have here in Vegas or whatever. Yeah, something has to go. So we don't have to worry about oil. Plus, it would make us independent. We wouldn't have to buy. So yeah, there is a cost involved. Someone's got to maintain the system. Like these women are like, oh, we don't need men in society. Oh, you're gonna go work on a fucking oil rig? You're gonna keep the nuclear plant running? Damn. Anyway. Yeah, you gotta eat out. You're right, Daz. You gotta eat out. You know, like I said, I'll eat out to socialize and whatever, but it's not like, you know, if I really think about it, if I dwell and the conversation isn't good, and I think about all the people who are touching my food and breathing on it, and they're talking and the spit's coming out, and they're touching their nose like this and touching my freaking shit, I'm just like, let alone we're talking restaurant, fast food. Or in my business, like, we don't call it fast food. We do business or, you know, whatever with adjacency to it. It's called QSR. They don't call it fast food. In the business, like in my end of the business, on the computer technology side, it's not called fast food. That's an insult. It's called QSR. What is QSR, Bror Fredrik? Quick serve restaurant. It's quick serve restaurants. It's not fast food. Fast food is like derogatory. So you QSR. All right, that shit. If you're still eating that, I pray for you. Like, every time you eat that, it's probably worse than anything else you can do to your body. It's fast food. Yeah, fast food. Nope. Is Moneyline any good? I don't know if I'm familiar with Moneyline. Yeah, clue me in on what the Moneyline is. And I'll give you an opinion. If you don't know, now you know. I can't say the other part, but we all know what that is. Yeah, the Russian plant, yeah. Exactly, bingo. Yeah, if they can power a nuclear sub, why can't they power a city? Yeah, because as much as you would say the internet democratized people, that everyone can have a voice now, unfortunately not everyone should have a voice. Oh, I'm an influencer. Free energy would do the same. It would unleash humanity's true potential. And the powers that be don't want you unleashing humanity's potential. They want the average person being a governed class. And how do they do that? Keeping the power. Without power, what are you gonna do? If your electricity goes off, what are you gonna do? You're fucked. So they can hold that over your head, and then when the credit score shit starts, oh, Bror Fredrik said something. He's talked about Social Security being the biggest scam ever perpetrated besides COVID. Oh, they can shut my power off. That's why when your power company says, hey, do you want this free thermostat that you can control with Wi-Fi? Fuck you. No, do not get that shit. You notice that they've probably replaced all your power meters. How come they don't send people out to read your power meter anymore? Because they can do it remotely. So if they can do it remotely, they can also shut you off remotely. And this isn't conspiracy theories. This is real. This is the plan. And people are just like, who's going to be the next bachelor? You know, they got people numb, or they get us fighting amongst ourselves. Your skin color is different from my skin color. Who gives a fuck? You know, seriously. Oh, you like this type of person instead of that? Who gives a flying fuck? As long as they ain't pushing on kids. But anyway, I mean, hetero or not, just don't push shit on kids. Let kids be kids. I draw the line there. But I don't give a nothing else. But they got us, pointing the finger at each other because, he who's rowing the boat ain't got time to, stir it, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, free power would be like, QSR is SOS. Yeah, learn how to cook. I mean, I was watching something on X, this chick was like, oh, but then you gotta drive to the grocery store, and then you gotta pick things out. Like, she went through this whole diatribe, and then you gotta pay for it, and then you got to bring it to your car, and then you got to put it. She went detailed. Then you got to put it in your trunk. Then you got to close your trunk. Then you got to fart. Then you got to twist the key. Then you got to drive home. Then you got to open your trunk. I just want to eat. So I'm gonna Uber Eats a freaking burger from some shithole that uses dye that's giving your kids autism. Sounds like a wise decision. I don't know. And it's so simple. It's so rewarding. Shit. If I could hunt here in town, I'd hunt. I mean, not town, but you know, if I can take the time off and go, you know, harvest my own meat, I would do that all day long. You know, go upstate, get an elk. I just can't take off work so I can go harvest an elk. I'd rather eat an elk or a deer or a squirrel than, you know, beef per se, even though that's all I eat. But who knows what's in that shit? Anyway. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're just getting so screwed, blued, and tattooed. Okay. You want to see something? I'm going to show you something. Okay. I don't see questions coming in, so I'm just going to go off. Here we go. What is an ETF? This is electronically traded fund. So, my two favorite ETFs. Like, if we're going back to the, like, oh, if you came into 100,000 or even 10,000, would you just stick it all in Bitcoin? No. I'd dollar cost average. I'd put in, you know, 100 here, 100 there, 100 here, 100 there, 100 here, 100, until I got bored. And I'd stick the rest in, like, SCHD. Why SCHD? Well, because it's cool. SCHD, there's about 100, it's a portfolio. So instead of being a genius, oh, I'm a genius stock picker. No, you're not. I'm not, you're not. Whatever, we get lucky once in a while, hit a home run like PLTR. All right, fine. Well, like Tom, he hit a home run with Intel. Okay, they do all the hard work. They charge a minimal fee, like 0.0 something percent to manage it. Whereas your 401k, they're charging you 2%. So if your 401k is going up 7% a year and the 401k management is taking 2%, it's only going up 5%. Duh. Scam. But if you're getting a match, do it. Don't put in more than your match, because that's foolish. Anyhow, I'm just a guy on the internet drinking coffee. Don't take my advice. Okay, so SCHD did the hard work for you. Every March, they reconstitute their holdings, and they hold about 110 companies that are all dividend-paying companies. And each of these companies had to be paying a dividend for at least 10 years, consistently. Then they reevaluate. So if there's an underperformer, people like that David Ramsey asshole, he's always like, oh, stay away from that, diversification is bullshit. I mean, in one sense he's right. In another sense, when it comes to shit like this, it's not really all that correct. Yeah, you're gonna take some winners and losers, whatever. Okay. So they call the losers. Like the biggest one that I saw, which I was like, yes, SCHD. They took out Citrix because Citrix ain't doing shit, and they brought in Accenture. Which, I love Accenture. Accenture's an awesome freaking company. Okay, so that's a good move. So they took out one of their losers and put in a winner, Accenture. They're predicting Accenture has 30 to 35% upside. They said it's that undervalued right now. So they bought in. So that's part of the portfolio. So for $30.50, which SCHD is currently trading at, you own a piece of the top performing dividend paying companies for $30. And then guess what? They pay you a dividend. Like clockwork. And they also get capital appreciation. So the stock doesn't go sideways. It's gone up almost 15% in the past couple of months. So you're not only getting the capital appreciation being into SCHD, you're also getting the dividend. and then you drip it. Then you take your dividend payments and buy more. Instead of taking it and being taxed on it, you roll, well, you're still gonna get taxed on it, but you roll it back in. So every time they send a dividend payment, you're buying more. The other one is JEPQ. JEPQ is more aggressive, less aggressive in terms of dividend, but more aggressive. They go after growth companies. If you want exposure to the S&P 500, you buy VOO, VOO. Why do you buy VOO? Because the S&P 500, Gen X, S&P 500 is, I mean, there's been some bad years over the years, but it always goes up and it always stays ahead. So if you want exposure to the S&P 500, you buy VOO. But VOO ain't cheap. SCHD. You want to see SCHD? And then I'm going to show you why Social Security is a bunch of bullshit. Watch this. I'm gonna turn over the phone here for a second. Let me get my dividend calculator. I'm prepped. I'm prepped. All right, let's turn this here around. Bonk. All right, yous ready? Are yous ready? Okay. Let's see. What? All right, I found this on. Nice seeing all my personal shits. It's called dripcalc.com. All right. I got it pre-set up. I populated SCHD. They're already showing the price. $30.56. It's gone up like 15%. Dividend growth rate yearly, 10.84. Share price growth, 8. That's beating the shit out of inflation. Okay, so let's just do a quick calculation here. We're going to put it at 10 years, and we're going to assume for a second that you're putting in, you can afford to put in, check it out, $100 a week. So you're starting out with $10,000, let's just say, that's the current price, that's the dividend amount, 25, you get the quarterly payment, you got the dividend roll, blah, this is probably all like, you know, a foreign language to some people, but watch this. So we're talking about 10 simple years. Let's go ahead and calculate this sucker, and you're putting in 100 a week, let's just say. Hey, wait a second, Bror Fredrik, you mean in 10 years, my end value is going to be almost $36,000, starting with a lowly $10,000, dripping back in and putting in $100 a month, $100 a week. You can do $100 a week if you can go out to eat and drink beer and eat pizza and frickin' Uber Eats and all the rest of the dumb shit people do. You could put $100 in there. So, all right, let's do the drip. So, in the grand scheme of things, in 10 years, yes, you would have put in total in 10 years, 62 grand in total, because 100 a week is 5,000. I don't know how many weeks are there. 5,200 a year for 10 years is $52,000 right there, plus your initial buy-in. But you're looking at a value of $135,000, and you got 120% on your money just by dripping it back in. Now let's just keep the calculation there for a second. Let's see what our dividend payment is. All right, now watch this calculation real quick. I'm gonna take this number of 10 years, right? 10 years. I'm gonna show you what at year 11. All right, the end value is 136. Watch this. I'm gonna show you some powerful shit right here. I'm gonna just simply change that to 11 years, calculate. So now suddenly, from 136 to 159, one additional year. So we put in another $5 grand. So we take that down to 54. That's $20,000 a year in dividend payments alone. $20,000. That's, I mean, okay, 10 years, what is that really going to be worth? But, okay, change a quick calculation here. Let's change a quick-ass calculation. Let's say you can put in, all right, let's say $500 a month. Let's change this to $500 a month and run another calculation. Excuse me, what, Bror Fredrik? 178. And let's see what the dividend payment on that is. A lot. Yeah. Okay. Can you live off dividends? Now picture this. What if you stuck 100,000 in? What if you had 100,000 to put in there? Can you live off dividends? Yes. Can you put SCHD inside your 401k? Yes and no. But you can't put it inside your IRA. You can put Bitcoin too. So you can get all that tax deferred. You can do Roth and never have to pay tax on the shit. There's so many ways to beat the system. It's unbelievable. You want to talk about beating the system? Let me show you what Social Security does. If we had self-directed accounts, okay, the average person is 7% of their money, of your income, is going into Social Security. It's like 6%, 6.5%, 7.3 with Medicaid. Let's just call it 7. Okay, so if you're making 100K, that's 7,000 a year. All right. So, and then at the end of in your golden years, when you finally retire, whoop-de-doo, you're gonna get your Social Security if it still exists, which it probably won't in like 10, 15 years. They're gonna cut payments. They are gonna cut payments. Anyway, and you gotta pay tax on the shit. Wait a second, you used all my money for 40 freaking years, and I gotta pay tax on that shit? Okay, I'm gonna show you the calculation. If you, 15, well, that 15.2, wouldn't that be with the employer's contribution as well? I think that's with the employers. That's a total. 7.6, 7.3 per. There. You've been watching me for years, Rip? Cool. All right. Well, we'll just work on 7. We can do 15. I've been looking at STRC for a while. You know, people say it's a Ponzi scheme. I have been looking at it, but again, it's Bitcoin adjacent. It's like watching someone bang your wife. Yeah, it's 15.3 combined. Exactly. Precisely. So, okay, if we want to take... Yeah, you're correct. Thank you. If we do want to take that calculation and consider the employer's contribution, yeah, it's 15.3. Okay, so let's do that. Now watch this. If we were to take that money when we started our career, now, okay, SCHD did not exist, but let's just say we invested. But let's just play with SCHD because I got it up here. So in my first year as an employee, and I'm making $100,000 a year, and this is a rough estimate, but it's gonna blow your freaking mind. So let's call that 15K total. 15K. All right, and then on top of that, I'm gonna contribute another 15K annually. So 40 years, before we retire? Not us, but, well, some of us maybe. Let's just say you started this, if you were self-directed, 40 years. This is gonna blow your freaking mind. I'll show you the calculation. So we started out, oh, I gotta turn the camera around. So we started out with 15K, we bought SCHD when we got our first job in McDonald's. We put in 15K a year for 40 years, and now we're ready to retire. Calculate. This is gonna blow your freaking minds. I don't even think I can get that dividend up there that high. Okay, in year 40, let's look at some numbers. In year 40, end value, $27 million. And you put in 615. Your dividends were $10.5 million. If that doesn't make you shit a brick, I don't know what is. Now keep an eye on that number. End value, $27 million. I'm going to add 1 year to that calculation just to give you an idea of what that comes out to a year. Calculate. Okie dokie. Come on now. Oh, look, 31.6. Excuse me. Weren't we at 27.6? So you mean to tell me if I was able to self-direct that 15% that is taken from me, well, employer match, just in interest alone, without tapping into the principal, my retirement would be $3 million a year? What is that a month? You telling me you couldn't live off 150K a month? No, it's more than that. 200K. How much is that? 200. You couldn't live off $250,000 a month? And we're getting so fucked. Social Security. If we were able to set, okay, now I skewed the numbers, assuming someone's going to make 100 their whole life, but it's rather accurate. Hopefully, you end your career, on a high. I don't care what you started out with, but if you manage to put 15K a year, and of course you're going to grow it, so let's even cut the number in half just to be fair. Oh, you mean I'm only, if we go fair and really true up, it's only 1.5 million a year? Yeah, exactly. Stephen, if you did the traditional, they say you're supposed to be able to draw 4%. That's the calculation they use for retirement. Assuming your portfolio's worth 1.5. Anyway, so if we don't skew the numbers, 1.5 mil, 100K a month. And what is Social Security? With that same exact dollar amount, you're getting back 25,000 to 30,000 a year. A year with Social Security. Excuse me. Something's wrong. I mean, you could have just bought T-bills and done better. You could buy whatever, municipal bonds, and done better. You could have done better putting it into CDs and rolling it over your entire life. You know, even those CDs, what do you get, 4% now? Whoop-de-doo, you'd still have a couple 100,000 a year. Instead of 20, you work your whole freaking life, and then you retire, and ooh, we got your back, bro. And you're gonna give me like 30, 40,000, maybe. That's your money. That's your money. It's not like a freebie. It's not welfare. It's your freaking money. They took it from you, and now they're giving it back and hoping you freaking die. You notice how the vid went after older people? Is that too conspiracy theory? That's a whole lot of Social Security they didn't have to pay back. And it's taxable. Oh, yeah, and right, Chris. And then they take your Medicare out of that lousy frickin' 30K or whatever. You can't live on 30K now. 10 years, it's gonna be your light bill. So, what I'm saying is, I mean, you could technically, okay, 401k, if you got one, whatever. I mean, you could take that same money and stick it in SCHD and beat the crap out of your freaking 401k. The other one is JEPQ. JEPQ is a beast, but it's a growth beast. I don't like growth beast, but it's good to allocate into a fund that focuses on growth companies. SCHD focuses on dividend, high dividend paying companies. And they're consumer defensibles. They got everything from frickin' diapers to, MSPs and shit. So yeah. And JEPQ, that's about $57 right now. They're more into the essentials of the world that have higher earning potential, not focused so much on the dividends. So you can hit home runs. I mean, if nothing changed, JEPQ would blow SCHD out of the water. However, life isn't like that. There's going to be drawdowns. If you just did the same calculations with that calculator on DivCalc, you'd be like, oh my God, I could put a penny a day in and be a trillionaire in 10 years? Because it's just saying it's always going to go up. But we all know that the market has gone down significantly on many occasions. But overall, over the long term, the market always wins. So yeah, part of the portfolio, I'm just some guy on the internet, don't listen to me, but part of the portfolio should be in something with growth, and dividends is cool shit, just for
Before you good?
Yeah, man. That's all I gotta say about that. But are we getting hosed or what? And like I said, the 401k concept of, that the corporations love 401ks, even if they have to match, because the pressure's off them to, if they a pension fund. That's how the city got built, with a union pension fund. So you're contributing to your pension every year, and then the company is supposed to give you a gold watch and take care of you for life. Now they pass the onus on to the people, and they're like, "Oh, we'll give you a 401k and we'll match a little bit, but F you." Yeah. The corporations love 401ks. It's kind of scamola. But I'm not saying don't do it. I ain't saying don't do it. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna disagree with you, Stephen, about that. You are 100% correct. I like the cover call play. You are 100% correct. I was just going a little generic with Jeff Q. That's a whole nother conversation, but take the covered call aspect into it, yeah. Shepai, yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's they don't want to teach you this shit in school. You know, education in America was never designed to educate you in nothing. It was designed to make you a factory worker, a compliant factory worker. If people knew half this shit, you'd think they'd be able to... No. There's a whole generation out there, who already... Ooh, boomers, Xers. Ooh, look at them. They had it so easy. The fuck I did. The first house I ever bought was owner financed. It was owner I bought it with, I did a lease option, because I'm creative. Owner financed after the lease option, got a balloon loan, then got a conventional loan. Guess what the loan rate was? 17%, like credit card level. So you better, it was 60 some odd thousand bucks for the house. Ooh, oh my God. But the payment was the same as the last house that I had. Okay, so what did I do? I busted my ass to pay down that principal. You know how I did that? By not eating out, by not buying $15 beers, $10 Starbucks, Uber Eats, Baccarat. Because I ain't an asshole. So the difference when they point at boomers and Xers and saying you had it easier, no. I mean, to a degree. But at the same time, we were willing to sacrifice to get what we wanted. We're born of a different, cut from a complete different cloth, cut from a completely different cloth than now. We weren't like, we didn't need safe rooms and, we're just like, you fall, you skin your knees, you didn't even freaking cry, you laughed. And you hid it from your parents because they would beat your ass if you came home with a freaking bloody knee. We're a different breed, Come home when the street lights came on, they didn't even know where the hell we were. They had to TV had to remind our parents that they even had kids. It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are? That's the era. And so we knew, and it bred a different thing in our mind. Think about it when you were a kid. You got your bike. You knew how to navigate every place in your town. You knew what alleys you could go down. You knew the path in the woods to shave 5 minutes off. We were out there, you got your bike and suddenly you were like, you were free. You rode down to the park, you're playing with frogs, you're meeting Gina, you're doing your thing, it wired the brain different for self-sufficiency, for self-reliance, for not being a freaking crybaby. Oh, but you had it so easy. Yeah, we drank from hoses, but the water tastes good. We didn't need safe rooms and shit. But, if you're not like a Gen X, you're below, you dig what I'm saying. But we're cut from a different cloth, that's self-reliance, we're used to going on missions. We get on the bike. You cut through this guy's backyard to go call on your bro. And then you run from this. We knew which dogs, when we're going through the neighborhood, right? We know which dogs would bite you. We know that this cat's dog, that dog will bite you. This dog, we're cool. And then we know that this guy will be like, get off my lawn, you little motherfucker, blah, 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 blah. And we know that this guy's cool. And we know that this bodega closes at 6 and that bodega's closed at 5. We knew how to navigate life. Everything was a mission. and everything was up here, all that information. And we were patient. We were patient people. We are patient people. Why? Think about it. Think about it. If you missed your favorite show, what happens? You were punished, you were grounded, you missed your favorite show. You had to wait a half a freaking year until it came out in reruns. What? So we're patient. Patience. We understand patience. We took some pictures, sent that shit off to get developed. 2 weeks later, you come back and someone's thumb is over it. Or you backlit someone so you didn't get the chick in the bikini picture shot you wanted. 2 weeks later. Patience. Patience. People nowadays, they ain't got no patience anymore. Instant gratification. That's why, like Uber Eats, I'm gonna go on an app and get a shitty fucking burger that someone's probably gonna blow snot in if I don't tip them enough. And it's not gonna be the same, and they're gonna drive it over, and that's worth $25 because I don't wanna get up off my ass? No, just wired different. Instant gratification wasn't a thing, you know? And relationships tended to be stronger too, because you couldn't just fire off a text. Shut up, asshole. You actually had to think about it, you know? Or a pocket full of quarters, find a payphone that someone didn't spit on. Different. It's not like it was easier, just built different. Just built for adventure. Built for self-reliance. Built to survive. You know? We had monkey bars on concrete. We rode in the trunks of cars. We rode in the back of pickup trucks on bumpy ass roads and shit. Is that whatever? So I said, peak humanity was, to me, is always the 90s. Because it had enough technology for it to be convenient, but not enough to, you know, people are addicted to dopamine. They need their rush, you know, from social media and shit. It's just like, yeah, aluminum frickin' slides, burning your ass up. You know, we knew how to navigate life at an early age. You were neglected as a child. No. We were trusted. We were not neglected. We were trusted. We were treated with trust. So, you were neglected as a child. You know, they'd leave you home and they wouldn't even remember that you existed. No, they trusted that we were gonna survive. And, you know, there was a trust in our fellow human beings, but, you know, for the most part, you always ran with a crew or something, you know? You know, the whole Schwinn things, you know, everyone had a Schwinn or I had a knockoff Schwinn that I repainted so nobody knew. Like a Stingray with the banana seed and shit. But it was freedom, you know? And that just fierce independence that's so lacking in this world now. The inquisitiveness. We would take shit apart just to see how it worked. Do they do this in school? Do they do like do they have biology class where you dissect shit? Where you got issued your frog and a sharp ass fucking knife and you pin that little son of a bitch down and you slice that frog open to see how it worked? Do they still do that? I know how a frog works. You know, but that's what. So we got a generation of frickin' you know, no, we know how frogs work. You know, the toaster effed up. Yeah, hit it with a hammer until we saw what was inside. We figured shit out. You know, our problem-solving ability was high because we had to solve problems. You know, we couldn't blame other people. We had to solve our own problems. You know, if we had conflicts in your group, in your peer group, in your crew, you'd work them out. Sometimes fisticuffs, sometimes talking, but you work that shit out. You know? And you went about your day. That's why, you know, back in the day, you had a beef with someone. Most of the time, you'd end up best friends. Duh. Nowadays, it's like the end of the world. What time is it? Oh, it's early still. Yeah, you feel me? Yeah, we had wrist rocket fights. We all got hit with BBs. We all took a friggin' errant lawn dart here and there, or a real dart. But we had fun, you know, and it bred that reliance. And you know what else it bred? Critical thinking. Because you had to know, like I was saying before, what dogs in the neighborhood would bite you. Critical thinking. Maybe I shouldn't go in this neighborhood, you know, you'd like think about it. I could take my time and go this way. You'd think about shit like, okay, the lights are about to come on, I'm a little late, but if I go through this gully, we just call them gullies, if I go through the gully, it rained. So then I'll have mud all over me from riding my bike through the gully to get home before the street lights come on. So, let me calculate this. What is going to be worse when I go home? Being 5 or 10 minutes late, or being on time covered in mud because I went through the gully because it rained yesterday? Let's critically think about this a second. And you critically think, how does my mom's and whoever react? No, she'd be way more pissed off if I came home just covered in mud. So I'll suffer the couple of lashes for being a few minutes late. Critical thinking. Like, we were calculating that shit. We were calculating shit like that. These freaking people don't even know what bathroom to use. You know, the younger generation. We were already making critical life and death, well, what seemed like life and death decisions then. I remember once, I'll tell you a story. We was at the handball court, right? And it was cold. It was, yeah, it performing the pressure, exactly. Who said that? Yeah, Jim, exactly. Okay, we was at the handball court once, and it was cold. It was cold. But there was a couple of Ginas around. You know, we had like, because the age group was kind of varied. You know, a friend of mine was in the Navy, was on leave. He was like someone's older brother, but he was cool. He was one of the crew and whatnot. But we was cold. But we wanted to hang out. So we made a critical decision. Should we, because we started a fire, we were down the stairwell by PS whatever school where we was playing the handball in the afternoon. So we had a little fire going. But we were out of paper, we're out of this, we're out of that. So we're like, should we take our t-shirts off, throw them in the fire for a little extra warmth? You know, like, these were critical decisions I did make. You know, and my buddy Patty's like, fuck it. I'm going to throw my whole denim jacket. I wanted a new one anyway. Like, we're making critical decisions. We knew consequences. There was consequences to everything. You rode through the gully and you got covered in mud, there'd be consequences to that. Nowadays, it'd be like, well, probably it wouldn't happen, but I don't know. There's no consequences. We knew the consequences on leaning on someone's car. You lean on someone's, you know, 69 or 70 IROC Z, He's gonna come out and beat your ass because that's just totally disrespectful. You stare at some dude's old lady too long, he's gonna crack you one in the mouth, you know? There was consequences. You look at someone too long, they'll be like, to this day I still say the same thing. Be like this, what are you, writing a fucking book? Take a picture, you know? What, are you writing a fucking book about me? What are you in my business for? You know, that's holdovers from back in the day, but, you know, there was decorum, there was consequences, there's critical thinking. You know, these things are dying. Yeah, we'd have to calculate, you know, is the ass whipping proportionate to the adventure? So sometimes you'd be like, all right, I know what the ass whipping's gonna be, but the potential for fun and doing whatever outweighs this consequence. So F it, you know? Critical thinking. You figure stuff out. You see people figuring out, they can't even figure out nothing. You know? They can't figure out nothing. Not nothing. Hopefully there's younger people coming up that have half a brain. But let me tell you something else real quick. I can't believe we're going on 2 hours. Holy shit. I've been talking the balls off a rhinoceros. Yeah, risk management 101. Nailed it. Yeah, we're all about it. And we're not risk adverse. You know? We weren't risk adverse. We're not a risk adverse people. And everything is, I mean, this world is so sanitized now. Oh, gotta spray everything with frickin' this and the da. We eat shit off the floor. We had a 5-second rule. You know? We had an immune system. The kids nowadays have immune system. Everything's so sanitized. Everything in life is so sanitized. But think of it this way. There's a generation out there who doesn't know how to wipe their ass. They don't know about SCHD. They don't know which bathroom to use. They're going to be running the world soon. Because Xers, right? Boomers are not running the world, per se. Xers are running the world right now. Get your money right. ASAP. Because there's a generation out there who thinks like you shouldn't have anything. Like they're kind of communist socialists because they're so freaking brainwashed, number one. Number two, there'll come a day when there's people in power who'll just like confiscate your shit. So get your money right. That's all I can say. Get your money right. You know? That's all I can say. Hopefully that the message resonates. Salute. You know, Gen X is the buffer between the younger generation and the boomers, per se. Like, we're the ones teaching boomers how to frickin' work iPhones and trying to teach the younger generation, you know, how to critically think. Because we got a taste of both worlds, you know? We're analog and digital. Xers, for the most part, are the only generation that is both analog and digital. Boomers, per se, yeah, they dabble in the digital world. They have to survive. But Linda's dabbling in the digital world right now. But for the most part, Gen Xers, there's a cross right there, but a Gen Xer can be, you know, in their 50s right now, but analog and digital, and kind of got a handle on both. You know, so we're like the bridge generation between the... Nah, I'm good. Are
you sure?
Yep. My cord goes in there. It was some, what do they call that? Swag from a convention.
You just hold your cords.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that new bumper's sick. I'm gonna have my mechanic work on my fucking... Oh, this is my girlfriend. she's in. She's in.
You did well. Well, I'll say she did well.
She did do well.
She did well. She got you, bro.
recognizes that she did well.
That's important. When a woman recognizes that you're the prize, then you won. You won life. Good deal.
You know what's up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll be back then, I guess.
All right, cool deal. And I stand by that. Like when some dude shows you a picture of his woman, never say, it'd be inappropriate to say she's hot. Or, you never, ever, ever say lucky man or some bullshit like that. Say that to me, I'm probably like, anyway. No, I'm a nice guy. I was just joking. But just a different breed. Cut from different cloth. But remember, they're going to be the ones who are going to be in charge of everything eventually. So get your money right. Get your money right. Barrington, what's up, bro? But yeah, we are the, we're the crossover. Xers are basically the crossover, and older millennials are the crossover generation. We've lived both analog and digital lives. Analog taught critical thinking and solutioning. We're all, Xers are solutions architects. That's why, like, if you have an Xer friend, they're always trying to, some people take it wrong, Like, you're always telling, no, we're not telling you what to do, we're helping you solve your problems, because that's our very nature. We were cutting through people's backyards, running away from freaking rabid dogs, cutting through gullies, changing our freaking D's into A's on our report cards. Shit, we had that shit mastered. We knew our parents' freaking signature. We're solutions architects. So that's why we always try to help people on both sides. We like solutioning things. It's not, because it's helpful. Because critical thinking is a freaking dead art any way you look at it. And it's our nature. Not that boomers don't per se, but boomers are a whole different breed of not fucking around and giving 0 F's, in the grand scheme of things. But they remain predominantly analog. Or they grew up or lived their lives predominantly analog. Imagine like the internet coming along when you're 60, Imagine, certain things coming along when you're just like in your 50s and whatnot. No, we were at that age where we just kind of coasted into it. I went from payphones to fax machines to, the internet. I've used courier services. I had to get documents signed. I'd hire a courier service. That was before, like, FedEx overnight. When it had to be there, you hired some cat on a freaking bicycle. But now, look, we're on the internet, we're making moves, but we still understand analog and digital. The only generation who has both. We're both analog and digital at the same time. And for all you people who are boomers, I'm not like bragging, but I'm just spitting facts and whatnot, and I know my demographic. So yeah, I have a feeling someone's looking over my shoulder. Let me check. I don't know, whatever. You used the Pony Express, that's funny. That's funny. Right, Tom? Yeah, how did we learn how to get our parents' signature? Because in every composition book, spiral notebook, what was there in the back? A couple of pieces of tracing paper. So you would trace your parents' signature with the tracing paper, then you'd take the tracing paper, then you'd use what? Carbon paper. What's carbon paper? You put the tracing paper on top of the carbon paper on top of the frickin' note to allow you to go on the school trip or whatever the fuck it was. That's if you couldn't straight up forge it. My mom's a little difficult, so it was a little bit of a science experiment. Now that takes some frickin' brain power. These kids have that? Ooh, I know how to make a TikTok video. Shut up. We were using carbon paper and tracing paper. It's wild. It's wild. I mean, I had a word processor. Basically, it was a typewriter with a screen that had one sentence on it that you can go back, and correct something before you committed it. Ooh, it's a word processor. Talk about solutioning. We're like master solution architects, most. I love solving problems. I live for it. I made a career, and I'm still making a career out of solutioning, out of problem solving. There's just so much innate satisfaction from A, handling my own shit, B, problem solving. It's so rewarding. Like, what do people get rewarded by now? Ooh, I got 50 likes on my picture. And if you're gone tomorrow, no one will give a flying fuck. You know? Likes. No, I'd rather solution something. Anyway, Captain Dave, what's going on? Yeah, Barrington. I mean, the MacGyvering we used to do to get shit done, you know? And we'd MacGyver stuff. You know, every one of us, male and female, we were MacGyvering shit back in the day. MacGyvering our way out of this, MacGyvering our way out of that, straight up. I mean, let's just be real. You know, we were solutioning everything. If there was a will, there's a way. There's always a solution to fix a problem. Yeah. It's funny. How'd I get down this road? Because you guys aren't asking me questions. Yeah, we were MacGyvering shit. Wow. Wouldn't miss it for the world. If someone would say, hey, go back in time, I'd be like, the only thing I'd want to go back in time is like, you know, maybe buy Microsoft or something. Other than that, no. No. Badass. And you know what, too? We tend to have they want us at each other's throats. Men against women, skin color, nationality, all this other bullshit. I would say Gen X people are the least likely to fall for the narrative and the baiting and all that other shit. You know why? Because most of us, for the most part, we rolled like the UN. If you was cool, you was cool. If you were an asshole, you were an asshole. Didn't matter what color you are. If you're an asshole, you're an asshole. If you're cool, you're cool. I mean, go back and look at videos in the 70s, 80s, 90s. People didn't give a shit. You saw everyone just chilling. You know, except like on the Warriors, but people were just chilling. You know, it wasn't about, you know, like this race construct and shit. That's relatively recent. That's in the past, like, 2 decades. You know, we didn't have that crap, and we don't, like, see things like that. I can't say everyone, because there's assholes out there, but, you know, we just weren't wired like that. You know, now, and we're kind of immune. We're immune to marketing, too. That's the other interesting thing. We're immune to the race baiting shit. You know, we just see people for who they are, whether they're good or bad, not automatic. But we're also immune to marketing, because we'd see bullshit coming a mile away. See bullshit coming a mile away. You know, we'd call bullshit. Like, it was okay to call bullshit. Now we call bullshit, it's a conspiracy theory. Okay, no, we call bullshit on things. So marketing does not work on Gen Xers for the most part. You know, we're immune to that crap. We're just like, yeah, you and what army? You know, that's our mentality. You and what army? You know, go F yourself. You know, we're not like easily persuaded. Where these, you know, the younger generations they're getting all their news from TikTok. You know, they're influenced by anything. They believe anything. Oh, you know, the ice is taking people in big planes and dumping them in the ocean. Why, you saw that? No, I heard it. I saw it in a meme. Okay. Okay. You know, meanwhile, it's like, you get what I'm saying. Yeah, we call bullshit. I still call bullshit on the bullshit. But at the same time, if you prove that your bullshit ain't bullshit, I think Xers are more likely to accept change and to admit they're wrong and to adapt. Because, listen, we made the ultimate adaptation. We went from analog to digital, the X generation. We went from analog to digital. Talk about transitioning and adapting to something. When I had my career in photography, I went from film to digital cameras. You think that happened overnight? No. Adapt and change. We're the most used to adapting to change and changing to adapt than any other generation there's ever been. So we're not afraid to admit we're wrong. And we're not afraid to try new shit. Because we've been there and done that. Otherwise we wouldn't be here. Right? Am I wrong? No. Let's just admit, we ain't wrong. So yeah. That's all I got to say about that. And I got another one of them half-ass commercials. Alright, let me check some commentings. Only 75 people today? Dang. So thank you, Chris, and thank you, Venus and Jim, for the 2 super chat activities. Most appreciated. Let me get back to messages. Yeah, Pro Tools. You do 18 miles a day on your exercise bike? Good for you. I mean, I'm not old, but I've said this since the beginning on YouTube. I wake up every morning still wondering what I'm going to do when I grow up. You know what? When you have a mindset like that, your body understands. You know, I caught someone thinking, as I'm getting older, my skin's changing. I was just like, shut the fuck up. You are poisoning your own beliefs and mind. Stop it. Stop telling yourself these lies. Stop. Even if there's factuality to it, you're owning it. I can hop fences like anything. I don't give a shit. I still wake up wondering what I'm gonna do when I grow up, and I'm always will. I'm not gonna get into the age thing, but I'm a Gen Xer, so that'll put me there. I cannot give out personal details per se because the internet's the internet and it's kind of dangerous. But I'm a Gen Xer, so yeah, always into trying new shit. Love it. Yeah, Duke, rolling with the punches, all the things. I mean, this isn't. Yeah, it is. It's a master class in who we are. I'm just thinking about it. But it's facts. Is it not facts? Most critical thinking, most adaptive, most willing to change, least racist, I believe. And we do currently run the world. You know, I mean, there's old money, but Gen Xers are generally everyone's boss, for the most part, if, you know, you're in that capacity. But at the same time, you know, get your money right. Get your money right, because there's a generation of people who don't know what bathroom to use, going to be making decisions for you if you ain't got your money right. You know, and that has nothing to do with what you're thinking. It's just like they're just so poisoned in the brain that it's just like it's nothing to do with what you think or who you're knocking boots with. It's just facts. There are gullible people, and they're gonna be deciding shit for you. They're gonna be deciding shit for me. Anyway, so what was I doing? Pinning messages? I'm not pinning messages. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to do twice a month, you know? I mean, I'm still working like 7 days a week, whatever, but quite frankly, I love every minute of it. You know, that's not a complaint and it's not a flex. I just love being productive, per se. But, yeah. And then I got some road tripping to do, so expect some airport lives coming up in the next month. Expect some away lives too. And I got a guest that might come on also. So yeah, so I got some interesting things coming up over the next couple of months. Next couple of weeks actually. So yeah, and I felt like coming out. And I'm gonna honestly I gotta whiz like a racehorse right now, so I'm gonna bop. What's that expression? Like, we had the coolest expressions too, right? Like a cow whizzing on a flat rock. What time is it? Time to get a watch? Hey, did you see my keys? If they're up your ass, you know where they were. We had the coolest expressions. Now they have like dumb expressions. Ooh, bro's cooking. With the coolest expression. Anyhow, I love you guys. I hope you had fun. Yeah, very, very busy, to say the least. How you doing, Tom? Nature is calling indeed. Yeah, Chris. Bingo. Yeah, and I do gotta go dig up. See, that's because we live in both worlds, analog and digital. I'm gonna go watch the Artemis splashdown. See if I can see any weird things to prove that it's AI. Vegas vlogging is so crazy. I don't even pay attention anymore. Joey's short pants. I care less what other people are doing. I don't watch anyone else, nor do I care, you know, what anyone else is doing. I just do me because it's cool. All right, people. So one last time, I'm gonna thank you for being here. I'm gonna invite you to like, share, subscribe, hit that bell button to get notified when I do this again, which might be next week, but definitely in 2. And I love you guys. And on that note, Bror Fredrik out.